We saw Taylor Beck out on the ice today. Is he going to play tonight? And just, I know you touched on him a little bit yesterday, but just maybe his potential line mates and expectations for him.
Yeah, Taylor arrived late yesterday. Obviously missed practice, which wasn't ideal, but it didn't have anything to do with his arrangements. It's just the airlines. But he will play tonight. We've got him scheduled to play in the lineup, and we expect him to give us a little boost, a little push. We're looking forward to it.
What do you see from him? He was a scorer as a junior, but he's been an NHL role player. But he's a scorer again in the American League. What do you see from him?
Well, he has done that. Obviously, he's leading the American League in scoring. I think he's throwing up 3 shots on goal a night. So those are all real positive signs at that level. Ian Herber's had him in Milwaukee and knows him personally, so he knows his character level and that type of stuff. His game with us in Detroit, he was effective. So we expect him to come in and I know he's going to work hard and he's going to have a lot of energy. He's going to try and prove that he belongs here full-time rather than being reassigned, and that should allow him to have success tonight and help us have success.
You guys have had this time off now to recharge. How do you ensure that there isn't a slow start because of the time off and maybe not being as sharp as you might be in game action?
Well, you don't ensure it. There is no, there's no policy you buy. There's nothing that you can do. I expect our group, and we'll be disappointed in our group if they don't come out and have a lot of jump and fire in their game. It's been 3 days. It hasn't been 3 months. We still know how to pass the puck. We still know how to skate. We should know the systems. It should be a little clearer upstairs in our minds because we're not as fatigued. We should have legs. And if we don't, then the disappointment factor comes in. But I believe we will.
Talbot was talking about Hedman a little bit. How much of a game changer is he back there, and how do you attempt to neutralize that?
Well, I think there's Carlson, I think there's Burns, and right now I think there's Hedman. And with all due respect to some other really good defensemen in the league, but just doing the pre-scout, the way the game runs through him, everything from defensive play to regrouping to rushes, face-off plays. We saw it last night in Vancouver. Everything seems to run through Hedman. So. And he has the ability to play in all 3 zones, offensively and defensively. So he's a pretty darn good player. Our fans will be treated to a nice defenseman on the opposition's team tonight.
How do you prepare for the Lightning, a team you rarely see? You see twice a year, and they're coming off a pretty tough loss last night. What do you see in them, and what do you got to do tonight to prepare?
Well, first of all, they are an elite team. They're an elite team with some injuries to key people, so they're finding their way with different combinations, but they still know how to play the game. I think they're extremely dangerous. They don't need many opportunities. They've got darting type players, so there's fast and there's quick. Fast is often long. Quick is just 2 or 3 quick strides and a shot released. I think they have both of those elements. They live on their power play right now. It's extremely strong. Goaltending, they can rely on one or the other. They seem to both be able to deliver good games. So, that's the pre-scout on them. That's what we see. We'll have our hands full.
Have you seen a difference in your home play in the last a week or so, or the last 4 or 5 games than in previous?
Not dramatic. There hasn't been a big difference. Some of it is fatigue, some of it's scheduling, some of it's opponents. It's interesting. Our home games have been played against the top third of the league. Our road games have a tendency to fall in the bottom third of the league. Not a lot in that middle third when you look at the standings. So we're playing against some very good teams here at home. Obviously, it has to get better if we want to get to where we ultimately want to go. But for me, and I touched on it yesterday, a little bit of game management, understanding situations, valuing the uncharted statistics, if you will, positioning, clears, D side versus offensive side, shift length, the last 5-10 seconds when you can be changing and you don't. Those are all factors that have to go way up with our team for us to close that final gap.
Todd, you got Greiba back. Are you going to start rotating Greiba and Benning, or you'll just see what?
Well, we're going to get right now. Gribes is not going to play tonight. We're not going to bring both Greiba and Davidson back into the lineup at the same time. Both of them have been out for a long time. We'll get Davey up and running, and then we'll look at getting Gribes up and running if we can stay healthy. But we're not going to bring two defensemen back into our lineup at the same time when they've both been out that long. Good.